Hello, my name is Milind, and this is going to be my fifth and final journal entry with regards to my placement as a teaching assistant in the Fitness and Health Promotion Program at Cambridge College. Today, I will be discussing my emotions throughout the placement, whether I enjoyed it or not, what I enjoyed the most, and what I disliked the most, as well as the knowledge and skills that I may have picked up through the placement or during the placement, as well as the knowledge and skills that I picked up through my entire course that I may have implemented in the placement. I will be talking about the soft skill goals and hard skill goals or workplace goals that were set beforehand in module 2 or the video journal entry 2, and analyzing whether I was able to succeed in reaching those goals or if I fell short. I will also be dissecting the process in itself and understanding why I was able to succeed or why I wasn't able to succeed. And the last thing that we will be discussing is what takeaways do I have from this entire placement? What would I tell future students when they were, if they were to join the same placement? How would I prepare them for that? And what my experience can help me with in the future when I start my career, start my professional life. And lastly, what strategies I used to succeed or not succeed in my hard skill and soft skill goals that I set beforehand. The first section that I'm going to be discussing will be with regards to my emotion and how I felt during the placement. With the first question being, did I enjoy my placement experience and what are the aspects that I enjoyed the most and what were the aspects that I enjoyed the least? To answer the first question, I absolutely loved my placement. It was something thoroughly enjoyable for someone like me. I love learning, and learning through this avenue meant that I wouldn't have to write any exams or assignments. I would just simply be allowed to learn. And the better part was that I got to learn directly under the professor and build a better relationship, get more information than you would as an ordinary student. Be able to communicate with them at a higher level and ask questions that genuinely I wouldn't be able to ask if I was in a student position. It really helped me understand the background of what a professor goes through and what they have to do on a daily basis. It made me see aspects that I would have never ever thought of if not for this placement. The next question was, what are the aspects that I enjoy the most? I enjoyed absolutely everything. There wasn't one moment that stood out more than the other or one aspect that stood out more than the other. It was just that I was overjoyed spending time in a classroom, just learning the entire day and being able to see different perspectives, see how students learn, seeing how different people absorb that information, the same information differently. It was very fascinating. It really excited me every single day that I went into the placement. What were some of the aspects that I enjoyed the least? Uh, there were a few things with regards to the functioning of the placement, as I mentioned before in previous log entries, how I was made to teach a class after learning about it only for 4 hours. That was difficult. It wasn't that I enjoyed it the least. It was more that it was more difficult than the surrounding aspects that I enjoyed way more. The next question is, describe some of the knowledge or skills that I learned during my placement. I would definitely say that the skill to teach and be adaptable throughout the day at every single second is something that was so important and so ingrained into every single second of that of the placement. Uh, Teaching inherently that was a job description, but again, uh, teaching to so many different people and making sure that everyone understands it. When there's a doubt and a student wants to clarify that doubt, they are quite ruthless. They make sure that they take whatever time they need to understand it. So you need to be able to change the way you teach to match their approach to understanding, their approach to learning. Everyone learns a little differently, and even if they understand the concept, they may not understand it completely. They may have a few gaps in between. So learning how to teach was very important. And the next thing is identifying the knowledge or skills that I acquired during the FPRO curriculum, which was the 3 semesters that I was able to apply during my placement. And the first thing that I would say is my entire experience in FPRO was with teaching by peers, by classmates, whether it was by my choice or by their request rather. I was teaching quite a few people. I was explaining concepts. I had a decent background when it came to fitness and health promotion specifically. So I knew more information with regards to the curriculum. That did apply when I came into teaching, but again, not at the same level that I had to. It was just a good base for me to build on rather than the final skill or final version of the skill that I implemented. Another thing was just the physical aspects. Me using my body and understanding my body very well throughout the curriculum helped me teach others how to understand their body and use their body to understand the material. Because it's very easy to say that your bicep is attached to your radius or ulna, or it's attached to your humerus, but it's easier to feel it, to show okay it's right here, and you touch it on your own body, you feel it, and you're astounded by how the connections work. It's a very good connection to form while learning. The last question was, aside from the 6 goals identified in the modules, describe any accomplishments that I achieved during my placement, and discuss if the knowledge and skills from the previous 2 questions played a role. I personally believe that this was an achievement for me, maybe not an overall achievement, but definitely an achievement for me. Towards the end of the semester, Lynn trusted me enough to grade the largest assignment of the entire semester. I wasn't grading it alone, I was grading it alongside her, but she still trusted my opinion enough to give me a grading sheet and see what I would grade them on. This meant that she respected my opinion and actually valued it, and that meant so much to me. All of the knowledge and skills that I gained throughout the entire course, throughout the entire placement, everything is what amounted to this. It wasn't one single thing. It was all of my knowledge, all of my hard work, everything that culminated into her giving me that opportunity. The second section of this video journal entry will be surrounding the 3 soft skill goals and the 3 hard skill goals or workplace goals that I had set beforehand in the previous modules. I will be discussing the success criteria and whether I believe that it was a success or a failure, and why did that happen. So first of all, in the soft skill goals department, there was time management, punctuality, and social skills. In midway through module 3, I did notice that time management was becoming an issue with me, but I have definitely managed to pick it up and started to manage my time much better. With regards to punctuality, I have maintained the same amount of punctuality throughout the entire course. I have had a day where I wasn't able to make it to the internship or the placement at the right time, but I chalked it up to bad luck more than missing the class of my own volition or choice. Still do believe that the punctuality was a success. I reached the goal that I wanted to. And the social skills, I built a very good rapport with all of the students that I was teaching, as well as the students that I was interacting with. I built an extremely good relationship with my professor. We had regular conversations about the subject, the course, the way the program runs, information was being shared through and through. Overall, I would definitely say that in terms of my soft skill goals, I have succeeded in achieving all of them. And I would say that the main reason for this, or the main method that I used for all of this, was just perseverance. With regards to time management, I just put in the time. I literally just put in the time to do all of the work, and that equated to me managing time well. Punctuality, again, just put in the work, did whatever was required to meet the punctuality requirements. And social skills was, again, slow but steady. I put in the effort every single day, spoke to everyone, was nice to everyone, and that resulted in a better relationship. Moving on to the hard skill or workplace goals. Three were helping underperforming students, identifying and providing valuable feedback after practical assessments, especially, and teaching a class with minimal assistance. For these workplace goals, there were two goals that definitely succeeded in achieving, and there was one goal where I did fall back a little bit compared to what I expected the end result to be. The two goals that I did succeed in was helping underperforming students and identifying and providing valuable feedback to after practical assessments. I noticed that the students that I had identified as underperforming students, when I gave them a little bit more time and explanation with regards to the material, they did see an improvement with their assessments, especially their exams and practical assessments. Their presentations were also better. They felt more comfortable talking, presenting, and learning about this material once they started understanding it better. In terms of identifying and providing the feedback, as we kept going on through the semester and had more and more assessments, I definitely saw that I was doing better at giving valuable feedback that was actually important to the student. The one goal that I didn't succeed in particularly was teaching a class with minimal assistance. Sadly, I even towards the end of the semester, I did require a lot of help from Lynn to run through the class, as I wasn't able to use the information given to me very efficiently in those 4 hours before I had to teach. Unfortunately, this was mainly because I did not have the right material to prepare, or the right methods, or enough time to get accustomed to this method. The last question in section 2 that I will address is whether I was satisfied with my performance during my placement. I would say that I was very satisfied with my performance, barring a few moments where I did disappoint my supervisor, Lynn, by not providing the material that she required for classes and doing the at-home work that was required to help her. Other than that, I feel that I did really well, and I'm really happy with what happened. I got to learn. I felt that I actually imparted some knowledge to the students, and I played my role as a TA. I was there to assist them in whatever way possible. The first question in the final section of this video journal is what recommendations would I provide for future students who are also considering this placement location? I would definitely say that they communicate with the supervisor beforehand, get prepared for all the classes, understand the schedule very well before they start to teach the students, as well as build good relationships with all the students while teaching, as it helps the communication flow in between, which helps you teach them much, much easier. And the last thing that I would recommend is that they prepare, they work hard, and they prepare as much as they can. Learn about the topics, make sure that you're familiar with everything, so that when someone has a doubt or someone has a question, you can actually help them rather than redirecting them to the professor or just giving them the wrong answer. These are things that you should never, at least giving the wrong answer is something you should never do, but increasing the workload of the professor is also something you're not there to do. The next question is to describe how my learned experience from this placement can be applied to my future career, as well as describing why these will be valuable assets to me as an employee. I would definitely say that my learned experience, specifically with the teaching, something that I was not very familiar with beforehand, was something so useful. Even the interaction with the students was very useful in with regards to my career. Being a personal trainer is being a teacher, but for a very specific subject with muscles, bones, joints, and health, particularly. So it really helps to understand how to modify your methods of teaching and your methods of explanation to match the person that you're explaining to. And you really need to understand someone's mood, build a good relationship with them, understand their diet. There are so many things that are involved, and this placement has taught me how to communicate with someone and get all of that information and use that information to teach them better. With regards to being a better employee, punctuality was one of the things I worked on, social skills and time management. These three things specifically are very important in any employee all over the world. How has this placement influenced my future career aspirations? And based on my experience, would I like to pursue a career in this field? I would definitely say that post this placement, especially under Lynn, I have seen that teaching can be a very, very exciting avenue as well as a very gratifying avenue. Seeing the students succeed, helping those underperforming students throughout the semester was so worth it once I saw that they were performing better because of me. Whether even if it's not directly in marks, even if it's just in an understanding, there was so much appreciation shown to me just because I spent the time to talk to someone and help them understand a certain concept. So these things have really affected how I view teaching, and it has definitely changed my perspective and made me want to become a teacher. In conclusion, I would like to say that I am extremely happy to have received the opportunity to do this placement under Lynn, as well as under the entire fitness department of Cambridge College. I definitely have learned a whole myriad of things that I did not know earlier. I have a newfound respect for professors, and I believe that I can be a better student now that I have seen the side of the professor's job. I will definitely say that the goals that I had set for this placement were almost all achieved, which makes me really happy. And I am definitely changed with regards to what I want my career to look like in the future due to the gratification and the satisfaction that I got from teaching students. Thank you very much.